I'm Dr. Fiona Lovely, and this is the Not Your Mother's Menopause podcast. I'm taking the taboos of menopause and perimenopause and bringing light to the dark. No bullshit, no shame. It's time for us to gain a new paradigm in female health, out with the old and in with the new, and I'm bringing fresh perspectives from someone in the arena. I've been practicing women's health for nearly 20 years, and I'm spilling the tea on what it means to live at midlife, knowing that the best is yet to come. I'm sharing my Gen X approach to living through this transition. Sassy, a bit sweary, and always honest. Tactical tips and instantly usable information is my aim. I hope to make you laugh and that you learn something new that helps you embrace the change. Together, we bring power to the peri. Onward to the podcast. Hello, listeners. Dr. Fiona Lovely here. You're tuned into the Not Your Mother's Menopause podcast. And I have a fitness expert with us today. And she is here to educate me and our community on the sport of rucking. And if you've not heard about it, now's the time because it's hot stuff. And it's basically the action of putting a weighted backpack on your back while you're out for a walk or a hike, just in its most basic terms. And it has all of these wonderful health benefits, the things we're looking for at perimenopause, like helping with bone density and strength training and endurance, and in a way that's also really fun and easy to implement, doesn't require a bunch of equipment, and you can essentially do it today. And as Colleen and I talk about, it's one of those things that you can stack. It's one of those health habits that you can stack. I am all for that as a busy woman. I want stuff I can put together that gives me multiple opportunities for health. So allow me to introduce our guest today. Colleen Flaherty is the founder of Rucking Women. She is doing something truly unique in the rucking and fitness space. She leads an active and empowering Facebook group for rucking women and pulls together an all-level, community-focused Ruck Your World retreats and events designed to inspire, challenge, and connect people in breathtaking locations across the U.S. and beyond. Colleen is a nature junkie who can't get enough spending time outside in the wilds of Mother Earth. She never says no to an outdoor activity through strength training, although strength training with odd objects, sand, and rucking is her favorite. She's the founder of Rucking Women. Her support of women has been a lifelong journey, starting in her teens as a soccer player, soccer coach at 16, and then certified personal trainer at 23. She coached pregnant women and moms for 10 years before starting her rucking group, Mother Ruckers NC, and training women outdoors on her and her fiance's property. Even though fitness is how she outwardly supports women, Colleen is also passionate about personal growth and emotional awareness. Oh my God, so important. On Instagram at rucking_women. And then the Facebook group, of course, is Rucking Women. And then if you go to ruckingwomen.com, she has a club that you can join. She kind of tells us a little bit about how that groups of women are coming together to support each other. And, you know, as someone who's worked in the menopause space for 20, 25 years at this point, I know what that looks like. And it's a beautiful thing. And we need more and more of it. I learned a lot with this episode. I will very shortly be putting on my backpack and throwing something weighted in it and heading out for a ruck, my first ruck, if you will. And I'll let you know how it goes. So, as always, thanks for listening to the show. I love this episode because I think it's really useful. I just can't wait to see all of us be so strong. And strength is the new skinny, as they say. Thanks for tuning in with me today, listener. Without further ado, here's my conversation with personal trainer, CrossFit coach, and mother rucker, Colleen Flaherty. This is the Not Your Mother's Menopause podcast. I'm Dr. Fiona Lovely, and today I have a fitness trainer, a personal trainer, a strength and conditioning coach named Colleen Flaherty with me today. And probably my favorite thing is she's the hostess of the Mother Rucking podcast. And you are
That's me.
here to talk to us about rucking.
Yes. And
Welcome to the
and
show.
thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here and speak with you and your audience.
Yes, this is a big fitness trend right now. Holy a
Yeah.
cow.
Yep. It's huge.
I love it.
Um,
Tell us what it is.
Yeah, so rucking, if you haven't heard the buzzword just yet and looked down the rabbit hole, it's just simply carrying weight on your body in the form of a backpack or a weight vest. So it's super simple, which is my favorite part about it because I've been in the fitness industry for over 20 years doing, you know, the reps and the all the things and all the complicatedness of it. And I'm just like, I just want to be outside more and I still want to get a workout in and enter rucking.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, so simplicity are that's like my love language. Let's talk
Yeah.
about that.
Yes.
So, women in perimenopause, and of course, we are talking women from the ages of 35 to 55. This is one of the things we struggle with is
Yes.
how different our metabolic and energetic needs become as we are enter this era. And so there's a lot of talk right now, Colleen, about how we are to move away from cardio and into strength training. And I'd
Right.
love to hear your thoughts on that, please, as a personal trainer.
Yeah, I've never been a huge believer of like just doing cardio, like just running for running's sake. I really love for my clients to mimic the lifestyle that they want to be achieving like through their exercise routine. So, if you want to be a marathon runner, of course you're going to be running, right? Because you have to practice for the main event of running. But there are so many different ways through lifting weights or just moving your body that provide you such a advantage over just trying to like put miles on your feet, right? Through running. And the best thing that we can do for women is the strength training, is the rucking, because and again, a big buzzword with rucking is bone density, so increasing our bone density. And a lot of times that comes from, if we have kids, that depletes our systems. And I don't know if you know this or if your listeners know this, but like when you aren't getting enough fuel through your food, your body is going to pull all of those minerals and vitamins from your bones and from your muscles. And so during pregnancy, they're pulling all of that nutrients in to grow that fetus. And so a lot of times, women aren't eating a good amount of food to re-nourish themselves during pregnancy and then postpartum. And so that's why we see so many women, later in life in perimenopause, maybe having such extreme symptoms, is because, it started back when they were having kids and they were younger women. And so metabolically, like we want to get away from just doing those crazy like hit trainings, those maybe just long and slow, monotonous, boring
Oh, thank
workout
God.
runs. Because like our hormones are different and we don't have the ability to say recover like we did when we were 20 and 30 years old or younger 30s. And it's actually just like frying us out. And so when our nervous system is fried, when our, metabolism is fried, we actually need more rest and slower paced things. And that's why I love strength training, is because you can go really, really heavy and move really slowly and you get this amazing muscle building experience, which I'm sure you've talked about before, but like building muscle as we age is just super important.
Yes, absolutely. So tell us how we go about rucking.
Yeah. Literally just get a backpack and put some weight in it. So I've had clients start with like like one of their kids' old backpacks and from school, like they still have stashed in the closet somewhere, like a Jan Sport or something, or
Yep.
an old hiking backpack.
Guilty.
Yeah, yeah. They have an old hiking
Yeah.
backpack, and you
Okay.
can just start with like a couple bottles of water. I know women who've done like gallon Ziplocs of like dog food, ice packs, sand in a gallon bag if you have it. It really doesn't need to be complicated, which again, it's like, what do you have on hand that can get you started? And I know a lot of women like the weight vests because they are more affordable and they do start on the lighter end. So they can be like 10 to 15 pounds. But if you think about carrying like a gallon of water or a gallon of milk, you're looking at 3 pounds right there. So I always tell women you are stronger than you think you are. If you're carrying multiple bags of groceries, you
Mhm.
are carrying like way more weight than you think you are. And so, or like whatever you are moving around your house. So it's okay to start with like 10 to 15 pounds on your back to get started.
Okay, I love that. The AG1 you've all heard me talking about for so long just went through a major upgrade. AG1's next gen is here. It's the same single scoop once a day, but now it's clinically backed and formulated with more upgraded vitamins, minerals, and probiotics. The new next gen formula offers a more advanced, clinically backed formula that fills common nutrient gaps and supports gut health, all in the same easy, once a day ritual. AG1 has been a game changer for my mornings. It sets the tone for my day, helps me feel my best, and like I'm taking care of my nutrient needs in one step. AG1's Next Gen includes 5 clinically studied probiotics and additional vitamins and minerals to support whole body health. Now clinically backed with an advanced formula, this is the perfect time to try AG1 if you haven't yet. I've been drinking AG1 daily for 6 years now, and I'm so happy to be partnering with them. Subscribe today and try the next gen of AG1. If you use my link, you'll also get a free bottle of AG D3K2, that's vitamin D3K2, an AG1 welcome kit, and 5 of the upgraded AG1 travel packs with your first order. So make sure to check out drinkag1.com. That's drinkag1.com/Fiona Lovely to get started with AG1's next gen and notice the benefits for yourself. That's drinkag1.com/Fiona Lovely. So a gallon of water is 3 pounds, is what you said.
I think
Yeah.
so. Don't quote me
So
on it.
ish. We love ish. We speak ish on this
Ish.
podcast.
Okay, perfect. I'm an ish person.
Excellent. Sometimes precision is called for. In this case, it is not.
Right.
So, what you're basically doing is putting more force on the soft tissues, the musculoskeletal system, basically, for the
Right.
purpose of building bone density and building muscle. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And if we look at humans over time, our ancestors thousands of years ago, they were walking because they had to. They
Mhm.
were having to move for foraging, for hunting. They had to move where they were living. Like,
Mhm.
you're in Canada, so it's very
Mhm.
snowy, so they might have moved to warmer climates in the brutal winters. They might have
Mhm.
migrated south for warmth and then, repeated the cycle for hundreds of miles. And so our genetics that we currently have are still that. Like we are built for walking and carrying. And I think we can look at right now this more sedentary lifestyle where more of our comforts are taken care of by technology, by deliveries, by driving in our cars. We have, super high rates, like over 60% are overweight or obese right now in Western cultures. We have super high mental health issues. We have all of these issues because we're not moving, like we're not moving for our life. And so, what I like to talk with people about is just interjecting movement into things that you would normally always have to do. So many women walk their dogs. So, you can put on a backpack or a weight vest and go walk your dog, and you're getting like 5 to 10 times more benefit from that walk that you were already doing than not carrying anything.
So it's really just stacking our wellness habits, which
Yep,
again, efficiency,
exactly.
simplicity, so
Exactly.
good.
Stack those habits. I have
Yeah.
women that I know women that wear their rucks when they're gardening, when they're mowing the lawns. I run a Facebook group called Rucking Women, and so they're always posting what they're doing. One woman wore her weight vest at the grocery store last week, so she was like, "They're getting it in. They are stacking."
Yeah, I love that. I don't know if you're aware of this or not in the menopause space, but there's a fairly famous menopause doctor, or infamous, I should say, by the name of Dr. Mary Claire Haver.
Yeah.
And she wears her weighted vest all the time when she's doing her
What?
Instagram videos and TikTok videos,
Cool.
etc. Yeah.
That's awesome. I've probably seen it. I just,
Well,
haven't gone down her rabbit hole.
if your phone's nearby, it's listening to my voice. So
Yes, yes.
whether we like it or not,
I know.
she'll probably show up on your Instagram. Okay, so the idea is we get a backpack, we put some water or something easy. I mean, I love the idea of bags of cat or dog food because then it
Yeah,
would mold to your spine as you were walking, right?
exactly. Yeah.
And you do it, and then you go out and you have a walk in nature, right?
Right.
Or if it's crummy outside, you jump on your treadmill and have a walk on your treadmill, or you go
Yep.
to the grocery store, or you do your activities. So let's say
Absolutely.
you enjoy it, it's great. Now, how do I upgrade the equipment? What's the upgrade from that?
Yeah. And so I will just throw in like a caveat that whatever you're throwing in your bag, you want to make sure that your bag is like nice and snug and tight to your body. You don't want it like super loose, banging on your low back. So if you need to, you can put in like a yoga block in the bottom of your
Mm.
backpack to like
Mm-hmm.
raise the weight up so it's on more of your upper back. That might be more comfortable for a lot of people, just depending on what you're putting in your backpack. But the upgrade, like now that we're in this boom of this movement modality, we are seeing a lot of different companies come out with their own versions of rucking backpacks. So Go Ruck is, has been around for the past 10 plus years. They have a backpack that is probably the most expensive backpack out there, but it has a lifetime guarantee. And they've really built their backpack to be put through the ringer, right? So they come from a military background. A lot of their events are military based. So you are, putting that ruck through the mud, you're dragging it, you're throwing it, it's getting submerged in water. It's meant to be basically indestructible. I don't recommend women start with that backpack because to spend 275 to $500 on a backpack is kind of bananas.
Mm-hmm.
So there's other brands out there. Rucker is rebranding to Ruckstar. They have a beautiful backpack that is a woman-owned company. She designed it for women. I call it my pretty bag because it is just so pretty. It is water resistant and it gets the job done. It also comes with a weight plate, which is very nice. A lot of companies don't include the weight that you need with the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so that company also has a weight vest as well. So they have both options for women. The list goes on and on for, multiple different brands, but really you are going to have to spend between probably 150 up if you
Yep.
want a bag that the difference is between like a hiking bag, like a normal hiking bag, is that the shoulders are going to be padded because that weight is going to be pressing down on your traps and on your body. And it's got a padded back that runs along your spine to, again, like you said, just protect your spine from, the metal plate that you're putting in there.
Oh goodness, yes, yes, we want to do that for sure. Okay, I like this. From a biomechanical perspective, we definitely want that weight up high so that it's
Mm-hmm.
not irritating or causing. In my chiropractic practice, what will happen is women will come in with low back pain and they'll say, "Well,
Mm-hmm.
why do I have this low back pain?" And I'm like, "Girlfriend, let's look at your purse." And they've
Right.
got this either a ginormous purse that they're
Yep.
always carrying over one side.
One side.
Yep. And it's got really long straps on it. So it's way down. And I'm like, okay, well, the first thing that needs to happen, you need to take some shit out of your purse, number
Right.
one. And number two is you need to get it much closer to your upper body as possible. And so,
Right.
I'm the fool that takes their bag and I say, look, let me show you how I would carry this. And I carry it like a football underneath
Yeah.
my arm. But
Yes.
that's, again, my perspective as somebody who takes care of spines for a living, that
Mm-hmm.
for my job, that that's how I would do it, is we want that up as high as possible for
Of
where the
course.
center of gravity is.
Yeah. And those backpacks too will have the weight pockets that are like start halfway up the bag so that they
Amazing.
are the weight is resting higher on your
Amazing.
back as well.
Okay, I love that because I was wondering how that gets pulled off. And
Mhm.
of course, just for those listening, if you're interested, you don't have to go out and buy one of these expensive pieces. Well, 275 is an expensive backpack, right? So if you don't have to, you can either pick one up at somebody's garage sale or on
Yep.
Facebook Marketplace or whatever,
Yep.
if you
Yep.
don't have one, and you can just make it work. I love
Right.
that.
And like there are many different companies in the fitness world that sell sandbags. And so I just bought sand in Montana for $7, 50 pounds. And you can get a sandbag and fill it with 20 pounds of sand, 10 pounds of sand, like whatever. You put it on your scale and you fill as much as you want. And you can just sling that over your shoulder or across your back and get the same
Okay.
benefits. And you're probably going to spend a quarter of what you would spend on like an official backpack. So the
Oh,
point is like we're just wanting more people to carry more. Like this has been a strength and conditioning pillar to carry, and because it is just so important for us, for our grip strength, for
mhm,
our posture, just for our muscular and nervous system, hormones,
mhm,
like all of that
mhm.
fun stuff. But if you can just carry things more often, be it a piece of fitness equipment or it's the dog food or the cat food or, whatever you have laying around the house, you can fill a gallon milk jug with sand. Like, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You could be the weirdo carrying your milk jug around the neighborhood. It doesn't matter. It's all about you. But we just
Th-
want people to
yeah.
carry more.
Yeah, I love that. So
Yeah.
grip strength you mentioned. I know this
Yeah.
is a hot topic right now. By the way, I am personally a huge fan of Peter Attia, which is the first time I heard about rucking. Are you
Yeah.
familiar about him talking about it?
Yep. I've heard just like bits and pieces of
Okay.
his stuff.
He does talk about it in his book Outlive, which is the it's sort of the Bible on longevity, let's put it that way.
Right, right.
And so my generation, Gen X, is going, we're not going down like our parents did, right? We want to
Yeah,
be strong. And
right.
so, and we're not falling for the whole starve ourselves to be skinny anymore. Like we're just not buying it. In fact, it's
Yep.
such a relief to eat for strength instead of eat for
Yes,
skinny. Like eat for
yes.
skinny never worked for me, but eating for
No,
strength
me
does.
neither. Me neither.
Okay, that's good to know. See, our genetics get in there, Colleen, and mess around with things. But
Yeah,
anyways, recently on a Peter's podcast, he was talking about how grip strength is actually a predictor of frailty. If we lose that grip strength, then we're more likely to have,
right.
I think it was a higher morbidity and mortality rate, I think is how it worked. So I'd love to hear
Yeah.
your thoughts on this grip strength business.
Um, Katie Bowman I don't know if you've heard of Katie Bowman. She's a lovely human. She is just up your alley. She is all about biomechanics.
Ah,
And
okay.
she doesn't have furniture in her house. Like they have bed pads, like they don't have beds. Like she's very like a lifestyle of proper
Uh-huh.
movement, and
Yeah.
like she's just an amazing pioneer in this like natural movement. It's so dumb that we have to like label it natural movement. It's just movement, but like we're
I
so far
know.
removed from that.
Yeah. We're
Um
reprogramming is what we're doing, right?
we're
Yeah.
reprogramming.
Yeah.
But she talks a lot about, and I bring this up because she has it's not portable, but it's just a hanging bar. That's
Mhm.
what you would find in like a gym for like a pull-up bar. And she put it right next to her bathroom. So every time that she goes to the bathroom or passes by it, she does some type of hanging. She might hang, she might try some pull-ups, but she's getting those reps in. And that's with everything that we do, with literally everything in our life, we have to put the reps in to become, a master at it, to just
Yeah.
get good at it, to get the
Mhm.
benefits of it. We got to put the reps in. And so if we think about it, like when's the last time you hung from something overhead?
Oh, I can't even think of a thing. I can't
Yeah.
even. I mean,
Like
I was
maybe when you were a
traumatized.
kid.
Yeah, I was traumatized by it when I was a kid and we had to do it for fitness stuff. But then when I was on the what we called the monkey bars back then, those
Hmm.
were fine. Those were
Hmm.
fun, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. But unless you're doing CrossFit, I'll say is like the only worldwide fitness modality that has a pull-up bar integrated into its process. Maybe F45 does. I've never been in their gym, but like we don't hang past childhood, and it's a huge upper body strength
Yeah.
conundrum because I just think in terms, and I'm sure like Peter does too. I just haven't heard a lot of his stuff, but if you need to save yourself or save somebody and you're like hanging off the side of the building, or like someone else is hanging off the side of like the chairlift and you need to like pull them back up, it's like, can you save yourself? Can you save someone else? And that, for women, we're already at a genetic disadvantage because we usually have weaker upper bodies and weaker upper
Mhm.
body strength. But like to just let this part of our body basically waste away as we grow older is is such a huge detriment to like our longevity goals, because it's why we get like hunchback. It's why I'm sure you've seen like migraines, jaw stuff, nervous system, if if you got pinched nerves in your back up into your skull, like it's affecting your entire body, it's affecting your entire system. And so keeping this set of all these tissues and ligaments
Mhm.
really
Mhm.
healthy come from that hanging and grip
Wow.
strength experience. Like it's that
Yeah.
whole oops, it's that
Yeah.
whole connection, right?
Yeah, which is really, really important. So here's my question to you. As a CrossFit coach, tell me if I want to do this at home, what you've just described that Katie Bowman does with the
Mhm.
pull-up bar, like where do I get that equipment?
So, if you look online, obviously it's going to be your best bet
Okay.
for the ability to shop around. Hers was like a standalone structure that she had,
Ah.
like
Well, she doesn't
four.
have furniture. She's got room for that.
Right. She doesn't have furniture. Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
yes.
but I mean,
Yeah.
you could get something. She also, which I love, there she has a whole ladder story with her kids, but she like put a ladder between two trees and it was for the kids. But
Yeah.
like you could hang a ladder between two trees and those are your monkey bars. You can get as MacGyver with this,
Yeah.
or you can like spend the money to get a piece of brand new equipment. But they do sell just like a standalone bar where it won't tip over, so you're safe.
But they
And
have something that goes over the door frame. Is there something
they
that can do that?
they are, but a lot of times they damage your door frame
Ooh, okay.
and they're more likely to just fall on
Okay.
you. So it's
All
just a
right.
safety risk.
Yeah.
If you have space in your garage or outside, like I said, like in a tree, you can
Hmm.
also do rings.
Mm.
So just like metal playground style that aren't going to weather, rings, or wooden rings if you're going to keep them inside.
Hmm.
But those are a lovely option for putting up high and you can get that hanging
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because I love this, and you're absolutely right. The decompression of the spinal tissues that
Hmm.
comes with the hanging situation.
Oh, yeah.
We talk a lot about keeping our hip strength, our quads, our hams, our calves, all of those really strong so that if we fall, we can get up off the ground. But the truth is,
Right.
there's not that many folks talking about the upper body strength. And
Hmm.
so I think that is such a boss move. I'm so glad I asked you about that because not only are we talking about the grip strength, which will develop over time,
Yes.
as
Yes.
you're doing that, but I love the idea of, as you said, Katie does, she stacks it with another health thing, which is stopping to have a pee or whatever
Right.
else is happening in the
Yep.
bathroom, right?
Yep.
And just saying, that's when I do my safety breathing, actually, is when that's a reminder to me, if I'm sitting
Yeah.
to pee, I probably got time to do 3 or 4 breaths, right?
Yes. Yeah. 100%. And have you seen, it's a very textbook like methodology, but the very obscure body and the hands are like huge because it's where most of our brain like connects to.
Oh, let me tell you what that is.
What is that?
It's called the homunculus,
Yes,
and
homunculus.
it's a
Yes.
map of the motor strip of the brain. And so
Yes.
what it says is basically that
Hands
it's
are
a
huge and feet are huge,
feet are
right?
huge. Yeah,
Yep.
that's right, because there's more processing power that goes from, your hands and your
And
feet to your brain. In fact,
yeah,
25% of your brain's processing power is for the upper extremity. Isn't that
yes.
fascinating?
Yes. And
Yeah.
so that's like the instant visual that I always get when we talk about grip strength and getting older is because
Hmm.
I'm sure we all have like that older person in our life and like, their hands are shaking or they can't write well anymore or like they can't do like those fine motor tasks. And
Yeah.
like that's grip strength. That's like the connections between our brain and our bodies. And like if we don't, these are like still muscles, like we still need to practice,
Yes.
practice with them. And so, yeah, it's just a huge gap
Mm.
in our longevity conversations.
Yeah, and it's such an important one. I just love that we just went there and talked about this. Okay, I want to know though how you found yourself a rucking expert. Like, please tell your story about
Yeah.
becoming a personal trainer and working with women. Just share it, please. I'd love to know.
Okay. So I started working out in the gym when I was 14 as a soccer player with all the boys. I loved it. And I was just a super tomboy. And I just loved strength training. Like I loved lifting weights. I loved how it made me feel. I loved the puzzle of it and the challenge.
Mhm.
And I went to college for art therapy because I love psychology and I love creativity. But I was like, I cannot sit at a desk all day
Mhm.
helping people. I was just super active, loved being outside, loved nature, grew up, rural. So that played a huge influence on everything. And I was like, I think I'm going to become a personal trainer. And that just started me down the rabbit hole of learning and growing. And I actually, for about 10 years, specifically supported pregnant women and moms. And so this was back before there were any pictures of pregnant women exercising on the
Oh my
internet.
God.
It was back
Imagine.
it was back in 2012 is when
Yes.
I started training pregnant women and moms because I don't have any kids, but I think like the sisterhood of like this is like an awesome time to get healthy and fit and strong because birth is hard work and
Hmm.
motherhood is hard work. I was
Hmm.
a nanny, I was a soccer coach, so like I knew what moms were going through
Hmm.
on like for their lifestyle, not like physically, but I was like, why wouldn't anyone be helping them? Like it doesn't make any sense. And so I just basically
The
started
patriarchy.
right. Well, yeah, I learned that later.
Yes, you
I
did.
I learned a lot about the patriarchy
Oh
and
yeah. Yeah.
our health system and
Uh-huh.
so much working with pregnant women and moms. Like it blew
Yes.
my
Hmm.
innocence
Yes, it does.
wide
It
open.
it does because you think, okay, well, I'm not a part of that. That doesn't affect me. But then you realize how it's literally formulated
Yeah.
everything from the educational system to how we are
Oh
treated
yeah.
health wise,
And
etc. So you
I would
answered the
train
call.
yeah, I would train doctors, like med students and doctors, and they're like, "Oh yeah," and nurses,
Hmm.
and they would be like, "Oh yeah, we spend like 5 hours on pregnancy or like 5 hours on postpartum or
Hmm.
nutrition or whatever." And I'm like, "What?"
Hmm.
So, a lot of aha moments. But I would interview people like you, chiropractors, physical
Hmm.
therapists,
Hmm.
midwives, birth doulas, and I just was like, what is happening to women and what's basically going wrong and how could we help them with movement and help them have better births, better postpartum transitions, recovery, diastasis, pelvic floor issues, like what's basically happening that movement, healthy movement, not like crazy CrossFit movement. That's not my style, by the way. I'm very functional movement based. So,
Hmm.
like
Nice.
kettlebells, bands,
Yep.
dumbbells, animal
Yep.
style movements, crawling, rolling. Um, but how can we just help them feel better? And then we have we pass down better things to the children as well. And so we do have a lot of studies on the benefits of exercise during pregnancy. James Clapp is a huge like proponent of that research, but that's all I had to work with. There was no how to be a pregnancy coach back then and anything like that. I just created my own method, and then I taught a 10-hour course to CrossFit coaches around the world because they needed the most help on training pregnant women and moms in their gym. And it's rinse and repeat. Every single gym across the globe is the same. They have the same equipment, they have the same mindset, they have the same programming, everything like that. And that was super rewarding because there's just so many women that want to move their bodies, but they weren't being supported in how to properly adapt their movement. So unless you have horrible preeclampsia or you get injured, like there's really no reason why you shouldn't be moving your body. And there really isn't any reason why you should stop doing any activity that you were doing prior or get into like a well-programmed weight strength training routine. Like it's only going to help you manage the stress and, the hard work of like what's coming down the line. And I think those habits are going to help women once they get into the older ages too. Like once their kids are teens or going off to college and they're getting to perimenopause, it's like if you already have an established movement routine from early on, then you are just, one leg up in your journey because you've done it, you know how it feels, and you're ready to get back there again.
Yeah, I like that a lot. It's so helpful. If you haven't yet looked at the statistics around menopause and how we are essentially ignored at menopause, you're in for
Yeah.
the same
Oh, I
kind of,
have.
you
Yeah.
have.
Yep. It's
So
so
this,
sad.
yeah, the numbers for gynecologists are 1 in 5. So their own survey says that asked, do you feel qualified to talk and confident enough to talk to a woman about her menopause transition? And
And one
only
in
one in
five.
five of them said they were.
Awesome.
So these are the women's specialists. So what are the
Right.
chances that the GPs have this sorted out, right?
Yeah.
Probably not. And
Yeah.
this is why women like you and I are all of a sudden finding ourselves talking about women's health care in a way that we never thought we would be,
Right.
because we answered the call in a way that medicine did not or was not
Exactly.
able to do so.
Yeah.
And so
Huge
I
impact.
yeah, I always say, like, if the goddess calls, you move. You don't go, oh, should I? No, you move.
Right.
If she knocks on your door, you go because you are in service to others. And so I'm so glad you
100%.
listened to that. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 And when you start working with women, of course, then you feel that. You feel a part of something that is just,
Mm-hmm.
it's just something you can't put words to, right?
No.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
Yeah.
thing. So I'm glad
Yeah.
you listened to the call.
Thank you. And everyone, thought I was crazy for not being a mom and going after this demographic, but I was just like, I just love it. Like I couldn't
Mhm.
explain it. The goddess called to me, like you
Yep.
said, and I was
Mhm.
just like, I'm here for it.
Yeah,
And
you stepped in.
when my life changed and I moved, that's really how I found rucking. Like I said in the beginning, I just wanted to be outside more and I
Mhm.
wanted other women to be outside more and I wanted it to be so simple. Like I didn't want to schlep the kettlebells and the dumbbells and the bands,
Mhm.
places. I also just didn't want to be inside a gym because the nature benefits are huge, especially because like 90% or something of our time is spent inside either a
Mhm.
car or our house right now
Mhm.
for like kids and adults, which is like, I'm sure you could speak a lot about this, how it's just messing us up quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
we need the sunlight, we need the fresh air, we need the
Mhm.
dirt, we need to hear the birds.
The
There's
grass, all
the
of the
grass.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we do talk about the circadian rhythms and
mhm,
the power of light on the show quite
yeah,
often. So you are
awesome.
absolutely right. And I think, Colleen, it's important to have the context of like, how did we get so far from this when not that
Mm,
long ago
for
we
sure.
had our babies strapped on our backs and we may have been pregnant at the same time and we were walking miles across the savannah, right?
Right.
So how do
Right.
we get so far? Well, the truth is the we went from we moved to a place of productivity for
Exactly.
society, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
now we're actually turning back and saying, you know what? I why is it that we're not feeling good? Well, part of the reason we're not feeling
Mm-hmm.
good is because we sit at a desk for 8 hours a day, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I mean, I love the little hacks. Like my favorite little hack, if I've got a moment where I'm having to sit at the desk, like probably you and I are both the same kind of antsy right now because we're
Yes.
not used to sitting like this. I
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I
I'm
know.
actually standing. I'm at
Are
my
you?
standing
Okay.
desk. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh
amazing.
man. I would go
Amazing.
crazy if I couldn't
Yeah.
like stand or,
Yeah.
go for a
I
quick walk or something.
absolutely. So my hack is, and my listeners know this, is that for every 20 minutes, 40
Hmm.
minutes, hour at the most that you have to sit at a desk, you get up and you do 10 squats. And when 10 squats feels easy, you do 20 squats, right?
Yes.
And if
Yep.
you're doing that 3 or 4 or 5 times a day, then before you know it, you're going to have legs like nobody's business
Exactly.
because
Exactly.
and squats are so good for the brain. So that's
Yes.
my own personal hack. I have tried to record these, by the way, on a side note,
Yeah.
using my standing desk, which I'm at now, and I'm just too antsy. I'm like a little kid. I'm like all over the place, and like, so I'm like, okay, sit still, Fiona. Put your bum in the seat. Probably because I had to sit so long when I was a kid
Right. Yeah. Same.
and all
Same.
those years in school. Okay,
Yes.
so let's go back to this Rucking thing. By the way, can anybody join the Facebook Rucking group?
Yes. Anybody can join the Facebook Rucking group.
Okay, and say the name of it again, please.
Rucking Women.
Oh, fantastic.
Super easy.
Yes, it's so good.
Simple,
Please,
simple, simple.
please tell me there's merch. There's got to be merch.
There is a couple things coming like
Okay.
eventually,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I hear you. I hear you. Here's something that might surprise you. When our estrogen drops during menopause, we don't just lose protection for our bones and our brain. We lose estrogen's protective effects on our heart. Your heart is packed with mitochondria, the cellular powerhouse that keep it beating strong. But as we age and go through the stages of menopause, oxidative stress can damage these mitochondria, affecting our cardiovascular health in ways we're only just beginning to understand. That's where MitoQ's hero ingredient, mitoquinol, comes in. It's the world's first mitochondrial target antioxidant that gets directly into your mitochondria, targeting stress at the source. Studies show that 20 milligrams per day of mitoquinol in older adults can improve arterial function by up to 42% and support healthy blood flow, exactly what our hearts need as we navigate this life stage. Ready to support your heart where it needs it the most? Visit mitoq.com and use my special code LOVELY10 for 10% off your first order. That's mitoq.com, code LOVELY10. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Hey guys, Dr. Lovely here again. Sorry to butt in while you're listening to this episode. But in case you don't know, I send out an awesome newsletter every 2 weeks. It's called Fiona's Friday Favorites, and I'm getting lots of great feedback about it. I pack it full of the latest and greatest in menopause and perimenopause information, whether it's research or treatment options or my favorite supplement or my favorite yoga pose or recipe or book or podcast of that 2 week period. People are loving it. So go to drlovely.com. That's drlovely.com. And right at the top where it says shift here, enter your name and your email address, and we'll be sure to add you to the list of Fiona's Friday favorites. Thanks for listening. Okay, so we get our backpack, we get our used backpack, we throw something in it, we go do this thing,
Yep.
and we feel amazing, mostly because we've been outside, but now we're also building fitness.
Right.
Is it a replacement for strength training with dumbbells, kettlebells, that kind of thing in the gym? Is it just another way we can get some training? Is it something to add to it? Like, talk about that a little bit, please.
Yeah. I don't think it should replace what you're doing. If you're not doing anything, it's a really simple, low barrier entry to doing more. Even just going for a walk with no weight is a great start.
Mhm.
But once you start adding weight to your body, you got to test it out. So you have to say, okay, I'm just going to walk for, 15, 20 minutes and just see how this feels on my body. it's probably going to be uncomfortable. That's okay. But we never want sharp shooting pains, anything that feels like stabbing. We never want tingling to happen in any extremities. That's just a sign that you've loaded up too much and you just got to decrease or just start with the walking, like I said. So test it out. And then it can be like we've been talking about a habit stacker. So if you know you're going to walk the dog, you're going to walk the kids around the block because they're riding their bikes, or you're walking to the park, you're going to the grocery store, that's where you can just put it on and get that added benefit, and then go ride your bike, go to the gym, do your normal thing. But like we were saying, like our productivity lifestyle has replaced our movement and survival lifestyle of our ancestors who were literally moving. They take rests here and there, to because you got to rest sometimes, but like a majority of their time spent during the day was in movement. And so they just had to do that to survive, they had stuff to do. So it shouldn't replace, but your body is built for more movement than I'm sure it's getting. So you're not going to do it wrong. You just have to listen to yourself. Like, are your feet really hurting? Then maybe you got to roll them, on some yoga tune-up balls, or, stretch them out. Are your calves hurting? Like, stretch them out, do some yoga. Definitely listen to yourself. But it is from myself's experience and from pretty much every rucking woman that I've ever talked to, like, I think it's the genetics of like walking and like the bipedal movement. It just like it makes you feel so good. And yeah, that's nature too, like you're outside, but like you almost go into like a trance state where you can just like be present. You can like let the stress off. You're just focusing on what's going on around you. You might process some emotions that you knew or you didn't know that you had. Um, it's just a lovely time, and it's not like doing a run. It's not like, swinging the kettlebell. It's just its own unique experience of, I think it's just getting back to the basics of what our bodies are made for. And so you just end up feeling like so good after you walk, after you ruck. And that is like one thing that is very like undescribable with words.
Yes. Okay, I love that. So go out and experience it. Don't overthink it. Just
Yeah,
go experience it and then
exactly.
figure out if you're going to do it or not. I
Right,
want to
right.
speak to the ladies that are listening that are either have a bunch of arthritis in the hips and knees,
Yeah.
or are awaiting replacement of joints. This might not be the best choice for you, but if you want to try it with a low weights first and just
Hmm.
see, like Colleen said, go for a short ruck and see how you're feeling. If you've
Yeah.
got extreme aches in the knees, let's say you're waiting for a knee replacement. In this part of the world, you can wait 3 years for a knee replacement. God knows
Wow.
it takes a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just a little different,
Right.
different places. But
Yeah. Yeah.
so if you're waiting, you may be better off doing swimming until your knees are replaced, and then you can pick up the rucking. And I do
For sure.
believe, is Oprah not a rucker?
She is. I think she like just did a whole
Yeah. And she
thing.
had two knee replacements.
Hmm.
And that's when she picked up the ruck situation. Now, mind you, if I lived on a hillside in Maui, I'd probably be rucking every day too.
Yes.
But
Yes.
but she makes it usable for us, right? She's like, okay, here's how you do it in your own world.
Right.
But
Right.
I love that
Right.
example.
Yeah. And I mean, our body likes novel input. And it also likes to feel grounded too. So that's why I think carrying something or having the backpack or the weight vest on us, like our brain loves that safety of like being more grounded, and you actually become more stable when you do carry a little bit of weight. So just like you said, just test out carrying, 5, 10 pounds in whatever modality apparatus that you have at hand, and see how you feel. And if it's like painful or anything like that, just do the walk or do the swim or do the bike. Like at least try. And then
Mhm.
definitely post-op, you can, after you
Mhm.
go through PT, you can start adding in strength training exercises to your
Yes,
regime.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if people want to find the Facebook group, you said it's Rucking Women is the name
Yeah.
of the Facebook group. And what if
Yeah.
people want to find your website, your Instagram? Please tell us the links that we need to find you.
Yeah, I am a woman of simplicity. So the website is ruckingwomen.com and the Instagram is rucking_women. And we just had our second retreat that we are hosting for women in Montana. And we started putting these on. I have a co-lead. Her name's Joanne. She's a manifestation and wellness coach. But just in the world of rucking, it's very masculine. It's very military and like go hard and die, but you'll be okay type of setting. And we're like, we want to offer
Love that.
something a little bit different for the
Thank
majority of
you.
women.
Thank you for that because I'm
Yes,
pretty sure most women would have that experience I just did when you started talking and you said
right,
it's the go hard, you'll be fine. I'm like, oh no, no,
right.
no. We've been
Yes,
going hard since the day we were born. We're done with that.
exactly.
That's some
Exactly.
that's some
So
shitty thinking. Mm-mm.
yeah,
Anyways, go
yeah.
on.
So we combine the hard fun work that's scalable for everybody, the rucking, the body weight movements with wellness. We did yoga, we did rolling, we had fun, we did playful activities. And it's just all about being together in that community and that sisterhood that we need in fun, adventurous places. We went horseback riding, we climbed a mountain. But it really is just elevating the traditional yoga retreat or meditation retreat. Like we have to work hard. Like we have to work out. We have to carry heavy shit because it makes us feel badass. Like we
Hmm.
just did that. And now I feel like I'm superwoman, right?
Oh,
Um,
I love that.
so we're gonna have annual events like that, and then we do have a monthly subscription, but it is to gather women. We have women in Iceland, England, New Zealand, all across the US and Canada. And so the Ruck Your World Club is a way for all of us to come together virtually. We do have swag in there. We've got a monthly coaching call. We've got quarterly rucks that we're going to do all together, like Earth Day, but we're all going to do a workout at the
I
same
love it.
time. So that's really like how women can get deeper into just getting to know each other because, like you, it's just about building the community. And like we need the community like now more than
Oh
ever,
yeah,
virtually and in person. So
absolutely. So where can people go to sign up for the Ruck Your World Club subscription?
it's all at ruckingwomen.com.
Okay.
Yeah,
Rocking Women Doc. I'm writing it down because I'm going. I'm
I love
going.
it.
And I'm sorry I missed the Montana retreat because that was awfully close to me. It looks like I missed it
I
by
know.
just a few weeks. Do I see here that you've got one in St. Lucia coming up?
So we are postponing that. And
Okay.
we are probably gonna do Oregon or the West Coast next year
Oh, that's exciting.
to
That's
get
not very
more of that like adventure vibe.
well, us Pacific Northwest people, we like to be outside. It's so pretty
Yes.
outside. I'm
Yep.
kind of on the eastern edge of that, but I feel that pull very much. Colleen, I've learned a ton today. Thank you for coming on the
Yes.
show.
Same. Thank you. It was such a pleasure to chat with you and be of like mind on, a lot of
Yes.
these things.
Yes, and I am once again grateful that you heard the call and you answered it because
Thank
this is
you.
what we need. We
Yes.
need like-minded women. We do need some leadership around, coming together
Hmm.
because it's easy for us to get swept into the day-to-day stuff and
Yes.
not realize that actually what we need is a sisterhood.
1000%. I do forest raves every month, so we're gathering tonight to
So,
dance in the darkness.
go on. Seriously.
Seriously.
Why are we so far apart? I'm
I
coming.
know. I'll bring it to you. I'll bring it to you.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Please let us know when you're doing the next retreat, and I'm happy to talk about it on the show because I
Cool.
think this is a
Thank
wonderful,
you.
wonderful thing. Yes, absolutely. So you've told us where we can find you. Now I'm going to ask you the one question I ask all the guests on the show at the very,
Okay.
very end. So here we are. Have some fun
Okay.
with this.
Okay.
Knowing what you know now, what would you tell your younger self?
Oh, this I just asked this one on my group too, last like 2 weeks ago. It's so
Good.
good. What would I tell my younger self? I would tell her to follow her heart and her soul and don't get distracted by the what is normal path and just find the weird passions and pursue them, right out the gate.
I love it.
Yeah.
Normal is boring as hell.
It is so boring. So, yep.
Embracing diversity.
Yes.
Colleen Flaherty, thank you for joining me on the
Thank
show.
you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. The information and other content provided in this show, or in any linked materials, is not intended and should not be construed as medical advice, nor is the information a substitute for professional medical expertise or treatment. We are doctors, but we aren't your doctor. Seek your doctor's opinion. If you or any other person has a medical concern, you should consult with your healthcare provider or seek other professional medical treatment. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something that you have heard in this podcast or in any linked materials. If you think you may have a medical emergency, call your doctor or emergency services immediately. The opinions and views expressed on this page and in this show have no relation to those of any academic, hospital, health practice, or other institution. Thank you.